Yo, it's your boy DJ A-Ron Cornbread, our brother.
Hey, this K Kim.
What podcast are the people listening to?
The A Square Podcast.
What up, baby?
Mr. West! What's good, people? It's your boy DJ A-Ron alongside my brother, as always, Cornbread. Episode 161. Let me start out by saying that because I'm historically known on this show to mess up the numbers. I mean, clearly I did it for the last episode. I named that something. I named that this episode. So, but here we are. We got a special guest with us. I will introduce him in a minute. But Antonio, how are you, brother? What's going on?
Good, man. You know, this is my favorite part, man. When we do these podcasts, is to get information. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. We go from one extreme to the next. It doesn't matter as long as we get the information out. And I'm excited for this one, especially me being, you know, a movie critic and doing my thing. So I'm ready to tackle this one and ask some questions. So
absolutely, man. So everything's going good over here, man. I feel the same way. I love when we bring people on the pod, talk different things, learn different things, so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and introduce this guy, man. I'm gonna do my best to give him the proper introduction. So we have a amazing basketball player.
okay.
I mean, a hooper for sure. Okay, this guy is a man of more talents than I can name, but I'm gonna just name a few. So hooping, DJing, photography, videos, production. I go on and on and on. A man of many women.
Hold on, what? Hold on, dog.
Don't do that one, bro.
Hey, edit that out, bro.
Everybody gets it on this show, bro.
No,
everybody. I gotta set y'all up. I gotta set you up.
No, we don't snitch on this show, bro. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on right now,
bro. But we got and he also, you know what I'm saying, from the U, from Urbana, you know what I'm saying? So we got Derrick Chambers on here with us today, guys, and he's doing some phenomenal things right now with his documentary. We'll talk about that. But Derrick, how you doing, man? What's going on with you?
Man, I'm good, bro. I just been, like you say, just working on my documentaries and just doing the whole film thing, just staying locked in with that, you know, staying out of trouble. But outside of that, man, I'm just consistently working, trying to better my skills, you know, develop more talents and, you know, try to be everything that everybody else is trying to do, but beat them to it first.
No doubt. No doubt. You, I guess we can start with the documentary then, man. Let's talk about it. I mean, this is, I saw the trailer. And I thought it was very dope, man. And then you was telling me that you was in Hawaii or something. What was going on with that?
Yeah, so I reached out to a gentleman named Anthony Highland, and he was doing a lot of activist things at that time for the BLM riots that was going on. And him and another creator named Conscious Lee, he just got nominated for a double NCAACP award for the best personality on TikTok. So I wanted to start doing documentaries on how, you know, how people are just moving on social media and then just talking about, you know, how addictive it is and some of the things that people are doing on social media for, you know, for likes, views and things like that. And then just also getting into, you know, activism and just trying to, you know, highlight those and promote those type of things that they were doing. Well, come to find out, after I reached out to Anthony Highland, which he has a big following, he has 1.6 million followers. So I reached out to him to, you know, start to try to connect with him and then Conscious Lee. And he was like, if you can get to Hawaii, you know, come on. I'm like, say less. So I just bought a ticket right then and there. I'm like, I'm on my way, bro. Like, you know, but through the process of, I didn't know what I was actually stepping into, because when I actually started really diving into their lives, because I didn't want to get blindsided by stuff. You know, then it come to find out that he was going through a sexual assault allegation. So at that point, and he's a service member. So at that point, I was like, all right, I really stepped into it now. Like I can't talk about activism or anything good that they're doing because this would be a cloud over their head. So I started diving into that, man, and that was a rabbit hole, bro. Like it was bad, and then it's just, you know, dealing with sexual assault allegations and no one's actually going to the police. No one's making the effort to, you know, start a report on anything. Like, this has been going on for a year straight of people arguing and fighting over TikTok about social assault allegations, and the victim, alleged victim, never went to the police. She's refusing to talk to the police. NCIS, which flew, well, in Camp Lejeune, they drove 2 hours to her house, and they were like, sit down for the interview. And she was like, no, if I can't record it myself, if I can't audio and video record myself, then I'm not doing the interview. And there was like, we can't allow you to record, an investigation live, because what she was doing was she was recording these things, these interactions that she was having with police officers, and putting it on social media. So they were like, we can't allow you to do that. So she's just decided not to actually file a report and just leave everything on social media for the court of public opinion, in which we know how cancel culture works.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right, man.
So
that decides everybody's fate.
Everybody's fate. And there's like no coming back from that. Once your reputation is ruined. I mean, they went from
Doesn't matter.
From doxing his family, doxing his deceased grandmother, taking his pictures, taking his children's pictures, posting them on social media, saying that they're going to George Floyd them, like they're going to, unalive their children. Like it went from just social media, and then it went to violence in real life, where people were showing up to people's houses, throwing bricks to each other's windows. So it was insane. And then I'm actually glad that it's over, because I was ingesting a lot of negativity. Like, I watched probably 2,000-3,000 videos of just people arguing, hating each other. I mean, just pretty much watching our community destroy each other online was really impactful. And then it like kind of started having an effect on me mentally and emotionally, because then I started having attitudes with people, because it was just changing me from watching so much negativity for like, I was watching for like 2-3 weeks, just consistent hours and hours and hours of all of this negativity. It started affecting me a little bit. So I had to take a break, but I'm glad it's over. Glad it's over, bro. Cause it was a lot.
No doubt. And we'll go ahead.
I was going to ask, like you said, well, I don't want to skip over the part of, number one, you reached out to somebody. They said, meet me at whatever location. You packed your stuff. You got a plane ticket and went out there. So I want to say congratulations to even doing that. There's so many people out there that listen to that or might be afraid, right, of the unknown. So you taking that step for, let's say, your future, I want to congratulate you on that, right?
Appreciate that.
And then on top of that, how was Hawaii, man? I know you was there, and like you said, there's a lot of negative stuff going on, but how was the actual trip? I mean, was there any downtime for you to get away? I mean, because I don't even know where you stayed at. I don't know anything like that if you just left and, left your place. So talk a little bit more about that journey.
When I got to Hawaii, it was dope. I got a hotel downtown. I was downtown Honolulu.
Oh, you rich. Okay.
No, no, I was down there. I stayed for a week, but I was there for a week, and I was only able to shoot. I think it was 3 days with Anthony, and then the rest of the time I was in Waikiki. And bro, like, it's beautiful. It feels different. Everything's like really slow. It's laid back. The water's clear. At that time I just felt. I felt alive at that point. It didn't feel like work, but everything just felt like it was supposed to happen this way. And then it gave me a chance to just recharge and get away from LA, because LA is crazy. Yeah. So it just
trust me, I know. I've been, and Antonio knows. Definitely. But it's
nothing.
Yeah, I know you don't, but what's going on right now in California, man? All this rain and all that stuff we're hearing about. Is that affecting you, or is that further north?
It's further north. I mean, there was a lot of rain. I travel to San Diego every 3 days, so it was down there was bad. Mission Beach, Ocean Beach, all that was flooded. All those houses on the boardwalk, you're getting 3-4 feet of snow in these people's $1 million homes. San Francisco was just demolished up there. There's a few. Santa Clara down up here it was really bad, but LA down like in the LA County, it wasn't so bad. There was a little bit of flooding downtown, because I live downtown LA, so it was a little bit of flooding and stuff down here, but it hasn't gotten that bad. The atmospheric rivers and stuff, we're supposed to get, I think 1 or 2 more. I hope that doesn't happen because, things shut down when it's just a lot of rain. But
Right.
other than that, it's not the summer, so I'm not worried about the fires right now.
Right.
It's like,
I say, ask and you shall receive.
We don't need
California
that
been
one.
asking for rain.
not that much water, bro. They got it's bad. Like in some of the areas, there was water coming up from the sidewalks, like shooting out from the sidewalks. Like,
What?
yeah.
Hey,
and
man.
then like the drains were spitting out water. The water's supposed to go in the drains. The
Right.
drains was like, no, we can't take this water no more. So
Well, let them drink it then, because every time I come to LA, they tell me you get 1 glass of water if you ask, and limit
Nicely.
your shower to 2 minutes.
Hey, Phoenix going through that right now.
the
Yeah.
droughts, yeah.
The droughts.
Exactly.
It's bad.
So before we get to any more information on Docs and going forward, man, let's dive into some other things that's going on in the world. Where would you gentlemen like to start? Would you like to start with the MLK statue? Or would you like to start with James Dolan telling anybody that's associated with lawyers that's representing anybody against him is banned forever from coming into anything with MSG? Antonio, where would you like to start?
You guys are way more informed than I am, because listen.
I
Martin
guess
Luther King. We just had Martin Luther King Day,
Yeah.
right? Celebrating. I'm seeing it all over everything. I've actually learned, in all honesty, just by sitting down and really watching some new documentaries and things like that. It was a lot more to Dr. King than meets the eye. And so I was excited that this statue was coming. But I didn't know it was going to be like this.
I saw a picture of what it looked like, but then I just saw the backlash, and I was like, "Yeah, well, I know everything I need to know just by the reactions. Like, just no point of me even going too further into the situation."
get it. Like, I don't get. Obviously, it's great that him and his wife are being highlighted, right? Like, so that's a good thing because she always gets on the back burner. Coretta's always on the back or the butt of the joke, right? He was cheating on her, he did this and all this other stuff, right? So it's good to highlight him and her together. But whoever created this idea and whoever signed off on this idea should be banned from America, bro. I don't understand. Like, it's called the embrace. And let's just show their arms and then one's holding up like this is the elbow. Where's Martin Luther King at? Where's his wife? I'm confused on what I was watching.
It's a unisex. It's a unisex.
Like, we gotta do better, man. Come on.
So it costs $10 million.
Rip off.
That's how much they said.
Rip off.
And the guy that created it is a black guy.
He ain't black.
I was there, so I listened to him speak. So first of all, respect to the King family for coming out.
Right.
Facts.
I can respect them for coming out and saying that there's so much love being given to their father, uncle, whatever, so much love. But in reality, everybody hated him. Nobody liked him.
Yep.
So they were like, they feel like it's a lot of fake love, when it comes down to MLK Day, all that. And they didn't like the statue either, and so then also I went on to listen to the guy who created the statue, and he said, it's what it said. It's an embrace, and our people loved it, and everybody looked over it. I'm like, but who approved? Who are the people? We need to know who, bro. You gotta have a staff, a coaching staff.
Right.
You gotta have a staff of people that's accountable. Byron Leftwich did this. That's why I think he did this. I think Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, and it wasn't in Atlanta either, which I was surprised. Where's it at? Virginia or something?
Boston.
Okay, Boston. So come on, bro.
Is that because it's like known as brotherly love or something like that, or
I'm not.
I don't know,
Bro.
man. I didn't get
No,
it.
that's Philly. That's Philly. That's
Philly.
Philly brotherly
And the
love.
president was here last weekend, so the roads were atrocious here that weekend for President's Day. For Martin Luther King Day. So I thought the statue was here. When I was looking it up, I'm like, oh snap, I'm gonna go to it. It was like, no, it ain't here. I said, oh well, never mind. I don't like it anyway.
Wow.
It's wild, man, and it does look like what people say it look like. It definitely does look like
An elbow and 2 arms, like 4 arms, like
or a giant penis just sitting in the middle of nowhere, bro. I don't understand this.
I wasn't even gonna
mentality.
say that. I wasn't even gonna say that.
It is wild, man. Moving on. Speaking of penis,
What? Hold on, dog.
Pause. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey, man,
we got to
Derrick,
discuss
Derrick,
it.
me and you about to do a podcast together, bro. I don't know what's going on,
I don't
bro.
know what's going on.
I don't know
I gotta
what.
keep the spice, bro.
I don't know what's up with him, man.
If we don't got the spice, you ain't got the ice, baby. Speaking of penises, we got officers that's sleeping together.
Oh man, I saw that.
Now, Antonio, look.
That. I mean, law enforcement.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just get to the jokes of this. For the people that don't know, there's a lady officer and multiple men
in Tennessee.
And they were engaging in sexual activity. Sometimes it was two of the male officers and her, and sometimes it was her and, another officer. And this happened on multiple occasions. So the backlash is that they did it on duty. They did things on the clock.
And we was paying for it with our tax dollars.
Yeah. Well, I'm mad. If I paid for it and I wasn't there or saw it or nothing, like, come on, man.
I mean, at least.
So that's the backlash from this. Let's say, Derrick, what is your take on when you heard about this, and do you think they should have been fired? Let's start there.
On the job, fired. If you're doing it on the job, on the clock, I think that's why the other two guys only got suspended, because they wasn't doing it on the clock.
Yeah.
So, and then if you in leadership, then that's a real big problem.
That is.
And you're supposed to be protecting us, not serving yourselves. You feel me? Like,
but now let's just look on the reverse side.
Well, I'm trying to be politically correct.
No, you was correct there, bro. Don't let
Everybody,
don't follow him. You're correct.
no, because we got to get to the meat. We got to get to the meat. If we talking about the beef, we got to talk about the meat. Let's just say this. All right, now her husband said he gonna stick beside her.
I'm about to say Andrew was married. He snitched.
He did say
he was snitching.
Was he
So
snitching?
he was a snitch?
Yeah, he snitched on the black officers. I said, He said
The systematic racism.
Absolutely, man. Because he was mad. She said, "This thing ain't the same no more. I don't know what's going on with it." And she allegedly, all this is alleged. We don't know.
Allegedly, we don't know.
Allegedly, she was talking to some of their wives too. It's like a whole gumbo that she was kissing wives at parties and all that. Like that. It's wild, man.
This sounds like the first porn that I would actually like to watch from the beginning. Yeah, I don't want to fast forward to the end.
We need a documentary on this. How do we get do we know somebody who can make a documentary in a short period of time, right?
Because we got to figure this out. But Antonio, let's get your take on it, man. How do you feel being in law enforcement? I mean, how do you feel?
So law enforcement, obviously, there's no space for this, right? And I always have to be subjective, because law enforcement gets a lot of judgment, good or bad. It doesn't matter. If you put on that uniform, you're going to get judged by somebody, good or bad. It doesn't matter. Right. And I try to take myself out as like, okay, what if they did the exact same thing at Google? What if they did the exact same thing at Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Right. I want to keep the law no matter what. I think if you're having sex during company time, it's a wrap. That's not what they're paying you for. Right. You're stealing time. So I think them getting fired, in my opinion, cool. I think just like you said, the other ones who didn't do it on company time got suspended. Cool. Only issue I had is I think there was a sergeant involved, right?
Yeah.
So now if you're their supervisor or not even a direct supervisor, but you're over that individual, you should have no sexual, like y'all shouldn't even be that close together.
Right.
Because now you could technically get charged with rape. Because now that person can feel like you made them do that. Right. So like you're opening up the doors for a lot more stuff. So, hey, I don't think it's a lot. It's not looking good for a lot of them. And like I said, some of them were married too. So they're going to have to answer for that, no matter how they wives, if they stick with them or not. But it's ugly. And she was wilding out, bro. Like this seven got like, and it seemed like it wasn't like one time. they was taking days. Like, all right, I got Tuesday, Thursday.
I thought the husband said
it's crazy.
They had schedules. They had work schedules.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I thought the husband said, "Okay, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead."
I was gonna say, so the sergeant made the schedule. He had to make sure everything. So technically, he's the head guy. He's the gangster. He's the lead gangster of all this.
Hit him with a RICO case. That's what
we're doing. RICO.
We're doing a RICO.
You know, that's wild, bro. I could have sworn the husband said that him and his wife had an open marriage, so that's why she was doing what she was doing.
I mean, I think so, but I don't think he signed up with your coworkers. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you go like swinger clubs or you find somebody out and then, hey, I find somebody out cool. Like you took the whole day shift, bro. Like, come on, man. I don't think he signed up for that. He didn't sign up
My
for
man
that.
was, well, you know he was hurt. Well, you know he was hurt. With his own colleagues too, you know he was hurt.
All right, so let's play. All right, since we got Derrick, let's do some role play. Let's do some
No,
role play,
man.
While
Y'all
we
trying
here.
Where we at with it?
You want me to be the female or you want to be the husband? Which one, Derrick?
Hey, I'm cool, bro. I'll be hot. Like I'm not going with no open marriage, man.
So
that opens the doors for things.
So we do this every now and then. We call it role play. So you can pick to be the lady or the male,
the husband,
whichever one you want. Derrick is on you. Who you gonna be?
Man, no choice is good, bro. Like let me be the sergeant, bro.
You gotta pick. You gotta pick, bro. We do this on the show. You gotta pick male or female. Either way, go.
Man, I'll be the simp, bro. I can't go out like I can't.
All right. I'm the female. All right, I'm the female, bro. I'm the female.
All right, Tonio, you the female.
All right, I'm gonna go. I walk in the door, and you mad already? What's wrong with you, man?
Why you sleeping with everybody?
Whoa.
This ain't what I signed up for.
Allegedly. Whoa.
Ain't no allegedly. I know.
Who said I was sleeping with him?
Who snitched?
Who said I was sleeping with him?
Hey, just because I may know and you don't know, and I'm snitching.
All right, it was just one guy. I slept with.
Lies you telling right now. Lies you telling.
It was two guys. Two guys I slept with. You know what I'm saying?
The two niggas over there.
You don't lie in my face like that.
All right. It was 7 guys. Okay, it was 7 guys.
All right,
that was it, though.
I guess I'll still be with you there, you know, even though it was.
Thank you. Because I need you.
Yo, this guy. So I mean, in all honesty, I know we're all men here. We've all been in relationships. We've all had cheating allegations. We've all had stuff that happened.
Allegedly.
Whatever. How do you, if you're married to someone now, if you are in just a regular relation, girlfriend, boyfriend, that's different. We're talking about marriage here. Derrick, how would you handle this situation if you had open relationship? You do whatever you want, but she did this on the job with people. Would you stay? Would you consider staying? How do you feel about that?
I think the severity of her case, allegedly, that would be something I couldn't swallow that. And with most open marriages, each individual knows what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's the communication behind it. It's like, hey, I met this girl, like I want to do this, or hey, I met this gentleman, I want to do this. Like there's the communication behind it. So I think that's the most effective way to have an open marriage, but I couldn't swallow that one, bro. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take that one.
I think like you said, 2 things to me in an open relationship, it'll be communication, like you said, and then boundaries. So like, if my boundaries are, I can't know the dude, right? Like I don't be hanging out with people I hoop with. Don't be hanging out with people you introduce me to somebody at your job. No, those people are off limits. Absolutely not. But if you just happen to be on vacation or slip up or whatever, it is what it is. Do what you do. You got to fly in, you fly out, whatever. But you can't, if my boundary is I can't know the person or something like that, then you got to stick by that. So that's my rule.
And I agree with that. I think open relationships are becoming more accepted nowadays. I think that I don't see any problem with that, but it has to be boundaries and it has to be communication. You know, if she's just going out here wilding like that, there's no way I can stick beside her, because at the end of the day, now you're lost your job. You about to work at a pharmacy at Walgreens.
And everybody know you now. This went viral.
I don't think there's a pinch. Yeah, we gotta move, because this was between us. This was something between us. And now I gotta move to Monticello, Illinois, bro.
I might have to redact my statement, because there's a thing called OnlyFans.
Oh, this is true.
That's true.
Iggy Azalea just almost got a milli for like the first day. Like there's people out there that's like, oh, I'm jealous. Let me see what it's talking about. Let me see your feet, whatever. She might actually get a raise now, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that might be on the table for her, I guess.
Well, thoughts and prayers.
Let's bring her on the podcast. Let's talk.
Bring her on the podcast. I definitely would have her on the podcast.
You should reach out to her. I should reach out to her.
Yeah, you better than me. You better than me.
I'm gonna slide the DMs like cuckoo.
Yeah, all right.
You better not.
Be right.
Law enforcement.
I wouldn't do that if I was you. What else you got for me, Tonio? What else going on?
I want to talk a little bit more about the nuances of the documentary, right? Where after you have the finished product and it's everywhere, right? Like you have to put everything together. How's that editing process? If you did it or you farmed it out or whatever. And then the second part of this question is, did you make the trailer or did you farm that out as well? So I just want to know the nuances behind it.
I made the trailer, and everything is in-house with me. The shooting, the editing, color grading, the audio editing. So I do all of it. And the only reason why I learned it that way is because, there's some people out here that are making $100 a minute when they're coming to doing audio and things like that. So I did everything. So, cause I didn't want to spend all that money, bro. Them people out here are expensive.
But that's difficult too. So how did you manage that?
What made it difficult. Normally it would take a little longer. Like say if I shot the full documentary, which it's 4 episodes, about 4 hours. I would have took probably a month to finish it out, but I got to Hawaii in November 18th. I was there for 7 days. And then like December 1st, I dropped the first trailer, and then the week after that, I dropped the first episode. So I was editing like crazy.
Yeah.
So I had 3 episodes, which out like in the first 2 weeks of December. So that was difficult because everybody was asking for it. Like the trailer ended up getting like something like 9,000 views.
Nice.
And it's still pumping right now. So normally it wouldn't be that difficult, but him having such a big following, everybody was like, we want it. So I just locked in. I got home. I didn't come out the crib for like a week, and I just locked in and just started editing, and then I was just dropping episodes back to back. The last episode, I took a break for like 2 weeks because I was just overwhelmed with all the negativity. So I just took a break and was like, y'all just gonna have to wait. Like,
yeah.
And then I dropped the last episode was like yesterday. So it was a headache. I'll tell you that. It was a headache to do everything so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That's why I was asking. Because me and Aaron, obviously, we produce certain things. We have to be the creator, which I guess it could be a little bit different. Like, let's say you wrote a 4 episode, series or something like that. That could just be a different beast as well, on its own. So instead of you capturing something that's happening live with you. So that has its own positives and negatives too. So it's cool, man.
There was no script written to that. It was just come to Hawaii, bet I'm out. And then everything was on the fly. Like I didn't write anything down. Like I knew the questions that I wanted to ask him, but outside of that, everything was just on the fly. And then I had to pay for someone else to, to hold the camera. So I had to bring a camera person, and then, I had to pay for they hotel, they stay, their accommodations, their food, airlines, all that. So it was a lot just to do on the fly, but I knew like I had to do it. Like you don't get these opportunities. And then with that opportunity that I did with him, as soon as people found out I was the director, my inbox was flooded with, a lot of large creators, Black content creators with over 1 million followers, and like, hey, I want to do a docuseries on the stuff that I'm doing as far as, activism work or talking about the indigenous community and erasure, their culture. Someone told me I should do, I think Keith Lee is that guy who's doing all the food, the food critic on TikTok, like he's going to these small mom and pop shops, and then he has, you know, millions of followers, and he's just bringing them all.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He's in Vegas. He's
outside the pizza place. Like he went to like this pizza place and did a review, and all of a sudden it was like a line around the corner.
Yep.
Like right afterwards, which was very dope.
So I'm reaching out, you know, people are reaching out to me, I'm reaching out to everybody. So this is going to be, it's bigger than what I thought it was going to be. So, you know, I just went out there to just do that one documentary. And then after that, I'm like, okay, it's just going to be a docuseries and me, you know, just, you know, chronologically everything with Black content creators, like our culture on TikTok. I'm just, you know, so it's been dope. It's been a headache though, because I've never gotten so many inboxes or people, you know, wanting something from me to continue doing what I'm doing. So it was a little bit of a shock, you know, excuse me. You know, I woke up one day and I had like 3,000 messages and I was like, yo, it's too much. Like, give me one or two at a time. So
now having that success, how do you separate the real and who's really doing something from the BS that's in your inbox? You know what I'm saying? The people, yo, man, shoot my video, man, and I'll get you some Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, look. Like,
I'll tell you how I weeded that out. I weeded it out by talking about production costs. I'm like, yo, you got to have, you know, my day rate in LA is $1,500 a day. So, you know, if I'm on a project for 2 or 3 months, I'm getting a bag. So I just was like, this is my production cost. Like, I'm not flying to, you know, I'm not flying to Florida. I'm not flying to Michigan. I'm not flying to Virginia. You know, I'm gonna need at least $7,000. Like, that's just base, because I like my back when I took all my Pelican cases, bro. I didn't realize how much it was gonna cost
and the weight that you got to pay for. Yeah,
bro. Yeah, I was like, you know, they was hitting me for like, you know, $300 a Pelican case. I'm like, I got 10 cases, like, you know what I mean? Like, so that was a shocker in that. And I didn't realize that they were charging you anything over 75 pounds, bro. You're already in the hundreds. Yep. So I'm like, you know, all you guys have these big followings. You better start these GoFundMe pages, because I'm not flying for anything less than $7,000, because I have to bring people with me. You know, I got to bring a audio guy. I have to bring a camera guy. And if I need more than one camera guy, you know, I have 2 or 3 cameras. So, you know, the production would be even more. It'd be even more immersive and expansive if I brought 3 camera guys with me. You know, so it's just the production cost is high. It's really high. And I think people thought that I was just going to be doing this stuff for free. And I'm like, nah. So that stopped a lot of people from continuing contacting me.
Good. That's a good way to stop it. That's a good way to stop it. So when you getting into the documentaries and whatnot, I know you did, I saw you working on like some short films and stuff like that too, right? Yeah. So what is do you want to do both? Like, is that the goal of this, is to do both, like films and documentaries? I know some people like to just stick in a certain bag. Like, that's just their thing. Documentaries are so big right now that I feel like so many people are just going, you know, towards that direction. Are you trying to do both, or like, what's your plans?
For me right now, I got my hand in everything. I prefer it to be that way, so I'm not just locking myself into one niche. I wasn't expecting the docuseries to do what it did. Yeah, I wasn't like this. This is just a blessing. It honestly was a blessing, because I took everything on a leap of faith. It wasn't, you know, I didn't have a plan to do what I did when I went to Hawaii. I was just like, hey, look, God, help me out. Like, I'm going to take this trip, and this is just on faith right now. So, you know, hook me up. And that's what happened. He blessed me with that. I would say I'm in the film, but my main thing is I'm a film colorist. So a lot of things I don't have to, if I go on set, it's because I'm a second camera or I'm a director of photography on smaller projects, but I'm a film colorist at heart. So a lot of the times I just get footage and I sit at my house and I color grade films. That's where I'm at. And then all the short films I was working on was just a lot of actors that I knew out here. They were like, hey, we have a certain budget. You know, we can't, some of the directors out here are really, you know, expensive. And when I moved out to LA, I was underbidding everybody just to get the clientele. So, you know, it might cost you, you know, $6,000 for a small project and you hire a director, you know, and you guys have a small cast, I was like, listen, give me 3 and I got you. You know what I mean? Like, so that's how I just started building clientele. But if this continues to grow, then I will most certainly, you know, shift over to the documentaries, just because it's giving me more exposure. I'm getting, you know, more followings, and then it's just opening their eyes. Like right now, I'm being seen by a lot of people. Like there's content creators on TikTok, and I've been interviewed by like 3 or 4 different people. They're like, hey, like, we like what you're doing. Anything that you put up, we're gonna promote it. We're gonna buy anything that you know, if you do the subscriptions, you know, like we'll do a subscription. Where do we need to subscribe? You got a Patreon? Like everybody's like trying to throw money at it now. So now it's like, okay, I need to go ahead and go this way a little bit, you know, because even though what I do in LA, you know, I live great in LA, but now it's like, I don't know how big this bags might get. So let me start, you know, focusing a little bit more over here than what I got in LA, as far as like the other projects that I work on and contracts that I have.
Right.
I love it. I got a good question for you, man. I need to know, man. I gotta talk to you, Derrick, man. So
All right, bet.
What's your favorite movie, and what's your favorite TV show, TV series, whatever, man? Talk to me.
I don't really think I have favorite movies, because I look at movies differently now.
Yeah.
So as a film colorist, I look for movies that invoke emotion through color grades, like The Joker. Like when you look at The Joker, you
Very
know,
dark.
It's
Dark
yeah.
colors.
It has a mood to it. So when I'm watching, like, people don't like going to the movies with me anymore. Like, you know, I'm like, let me go watch what's that new movie just came out? Avatar. I'm not going to watch the movie to talk about the story. I'm going to see the visual effects and, you know, things like that. Or like, I'm not there for, you know, for the enjoyment for everybody else. So no one wants to, you know, go to the movies with me because I'm talking about the color grades or composition, or I'm talking about, you know, how these angles were shot. Like, bro, like, what are you doing that face for?
I mean, you know, I think we're all gentlemen on this show, and I think that we ought to. Yeah, you brought up Avatar, and I just want to know how you felt when the old girl came up out that water. When she came up out that water looking with them eyes, I just want to know. I want to know if you felt the way I felt.
No,
I want to know. I just gotta know.
That boy was like, "Woo, okay."
Because she came up out that water, and I said, "Girl, you better get your little blue ass."
Yeah,
man.
man.
I said, hey, if they don't want you on the drive,
That's
you know what I'm
hilarious.
saying? I gotta try for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have an Avatar baby too. But anyway.
What about TV series, man? What's
TV
one that you know that's a go to? You could damn near quote every episode, man.
As far as TV series, I think I would say I like Game of Thrones. I like how that was shot. I like The Witcher. I like how that was shot.
Season 3 about to come out.
Yeah. After that, I'm not watching it anymore because, you know, Henry Cavill won't be The Witcher anymore. So that's whack.
Crazy.
The Rock messed that up for everybody.
Yeah. It won't be The Witcher or Superman. They like to get
man,
like.
Black Mirror was pretty dope.
Yes. Definitely.
So, and then what was the other one with all the kids? I can't remember the name of it.
Euphoria?
There you go.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was the color grading behind that was crazy. The effects in that was crazy. I think that's the ones that I've actually paid attention to.
Okay. I like it. I like it, man.
Let's talk a little bit about sports right now and things that's going on in basketball and whatnot. Derrick, you always seem to have some type of comment.
No, I don't. No,
yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We got to talk about it, bro. Now we got to talk about your boy LeBron now, real quick. I know there's been times where you've made some statements on Facebook and whatnot, and I'll hit you with the eyes because I'm trying to stay out of these conversations and debates, but it's interesting when I hear your take on some things. So. Take on LeBron, Lakers, LA. What's going on?
They're losers. That's it. I can't really. I mean, like I don't really be having like I don't have favorite teams. Like I have favorite players.
Absolutely.
So like I find Ja Morant more exciting of a player than I find LeBron James right now.
Right.
So
of course.
So it's like I would hope that I mean he old now, but what can you do with the team you have? And AD, he wake up hurt.
Facts.
So he get a glass of water and you like so I mean them boys making millions, just play basketball. So you really can't hate on it too much, but I'm just waiting to see if Bronny comes to the Lakers. You know what I mean? So
it'll be interesting. I feel like the ultimate goal now for LeBron, looking at the team, they're not going to win no championship this year.
No,
there's nothing that they can do to win next year, in my opinion, without some superstar coming to the team and them working something out. That's not going to happen. But what can happen is us see LeBron and his son on the court together. And I think that's the whether he plays for the Lakers or not, I think that is LeBron's goal at this point.
That boy going to Lakers. He goes to the Lakers. That boy going to the Lakers. LeBron's a GM, bro. Like he goes to the Lakers, bro.
Or LeBron is going to wherever team he go. I think
That's
LeBron,
true.
that will be his last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be like,
true.
Pay me the league minimum. Wherever he get drafted, I'm a free agent there. So it doesn't, that's at least how I'm thinking it might go, right? Because he might be out of his, Bronny got 2 more years, right? Is he a junior?
No, he's a senior.
He's a senior this year?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I guess, is he going to do a year of college or you think he's going to come straight out? Because he's not good enough to be straight from high school.
No, I don't think so either.
So I think he'll do 1 year in college and then leave. So
they were looking at Ohio State. I know that was in the mention.
So at least we got 2 more years.
I thought I saw a tweet or someone was talking about Oregon, that he liked Oregon.
He did go visit Oregon.
Okay.
Obviously, that would be closer to closer to LA.
So LeBron got 2 more years to be with his son. I think that'll be his last year. He'll probably opt out of whatever contract he in. He say, I'll play for the league minimum, pick me up. You get LeBron and my son. I don't care what you pay me. It ain't about the money at that point,
Right.
I mean, he's already made that clear. He already said that. So
he's gonna break the number 1 points of all time. So after that, he ain't got nothing else to prove, bro. He's done. So I like it.
Also, I wanted to go ahead and talk about, since we're talking to the wonderful Derrick Chambers, who does docuseries and films and whatnot. I want to talk about how wonderful Tubi is.
No,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about how wonderful Tubi is. Yo, this is the greatest platform on any network.
In the hood? In the hood?
Oh, bro. Everybody needs to watch Tubi.
No, man.
And I
saw some of those films on there, bro. I was like, but I can't. I can't really hate is because they're shooting, they're making content, so you can't really hate it. But some of the shows, I'm like, if you got a gun and you acting like you shooting somebody, you're gonna have to have some form of effect on that.
I laughed. The other day when I seen they got into altercation, huge fight. It's like 5 people on 5 people going at it. One guy pulls the gun out. Guy tries to jump over a table. But see, here's the thing: they don't have the athletic ability to technically do that. So to jump over a table, he didn't have it in the knees. So what he did was he jumped on the table and rolled over the table. When he fell to the ground, it wasn't him no more. It was a whole nother actor with his clothes on. I said, "Oh, this is brilliant. This is genius.
This is genius.
This is genius." I love to. Look, if you need a good laugh and you want to see people trying, go to Tubi, because this is it. This is the one. This is the one right here.
Yeah, that's wild. I watched a lot of those, man. And I'm just
funny.
Like, I mean, even the ones that I've seen on Amazon Prime, I'm like, I could do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but like I said, you can't hate them. They're doing what others aren't doing. So you just got to give them their props.
I watch them to support. You know what I'm saying? If the storyline is good, that everything can't be perfect, bro. Everything
no,
can't
not
be
at all.
perfect.
Facts.
I
And
think-
one
and-
thing, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go,
Derek.
no, you got it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I do movie reviews, like, so I have a section called cinematography, right? So that adds all the soundtrack, how it looks, how it makes you feel, like you said, the colors. I also have the budget in there, how long the movie was. All that goes into that category of cinematography. And so I always bring up the budget, right? Like, so you got Spider-Man who's getting $200 million. Of course it's going to look good. You throwing computers at it. Like, you throwing all this money to make it look, of course it is. So you don't get extra points for that, right?
Right.
But when I talk about other movies, let's go over some smaller budget, like you said, Joker, right? Like, well, the Joker had
It had a
90
decent.
million. There's one of my favorite horror movies is like Midsommar. I don't know if you've seen
That
that.
was great. Yeah,
I think the
Midsommar.
I haven't
color
seen that
scheme
one.
and everything, I would highly recommend you watch that, Midsommar.
Yeah, it's very
But their
good.
budget was 40 or 50 million. But their creativity through the roof, right? So it's like, just because you don't have the budget, you can still be creative. And
That's
I think
right.
that's kind of what people are lacking, is the creativity. To me, that's the currency, not just the budget that you get. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that or not.
I'm the same way. Like, you get what you get. I'm gonna say it's not that you get what you pay for, but your creativity has to be high. But when you don't have a certain budget, there's you can only get what you can what I'm saying,
Right.
can pay for
Right.
at that point in time. So your story definitely has to be elevated to a higher level than what someone else would be, who you would be like, get all the odds and oohs like in a Marvel movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
One thing I refused to watch for the first several days that it came out was the Best Man TV series. I refused to watch it because I was like, come on, man, we did the first movie, we did the second movie. Now y'all finna do a 8-part series or whatever it is.
Yep.
I am so glad that I watched it.
Yeah, a lot of people said they like it.
Not
Yeah.
only was it the storylines really good and creative, and yes, I mean, you could say that it was, you kind of knew a lot of things was coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
kind of know, but at the same time, for them to shoot a series the way they did, I thought it was excellent, and I would strongly recommend it to people. I think it's some of their best acting, some of their best work. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about legends. Whether it's Morris Chestnut, Tate Diggs, like this they bag anyway.
And
You know
Terrence
what I'm
Howard
saying?
said he was almost going to stop acting
Who?
too. So,
Who?
my gosh,
Who?
come on, man.
Let me
What
tell you
need,
something.
man?
He couldn't stop.
mean, man?
Look, let me tell you something. Terrence Howard. There was a time in the movie where I was like, this dude just can't say man. He can't. He just cannot do it. And it was just like, man, come on, man. And it just kept happening. I'm like, I think we just gotten to the point where Terrence Howard is just going to play Terrence Howard in the movie.
Yeah.
Just like The
cannot
Rock plays The Rock in the movies.
That's
Facts.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
it just is what it is. Like, you hired this guy to be this guy.
Yeah.
And I think they need to stop trying to tell him to say man. Just say that.
It just
Hey, Maine, you know what to say
Man.
right here.
Man.
put that
What
in the
else you got
dictionary.
for us, Tonio?
That's it. I mean, I think I want to know what's because we have people listening. We reach 12, 13 countries, DJ.
Man, yeah.
So we've been doing this thing for going on 4 years, man. So our audience is broad. Like, we from little kids to all the way to adults to different occupations. So there's definitely somebody out there who might be thinking about going into the film industry, right? Or we have some teens on there who might want to go into social media and different things like that. So what's some pros in what you do? What you would try to give them a head start in? Then what's some cons, some things that they need to look out for, maybe in the social media game or just the field that you're into? Maybe not purchasing the $1 million mic when you just start because you might break it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So just give us some pros and cons of what you do.
I will say, one of the cons is it's expensive. You have to compete with the quality that's already out there. So, have a plan, because these are investments. Like, you're not going to get an ROI, a quick ROI on all the stuff that you're doing. Like, I probably got $80K worth of equipment in the crib. Like, and I'm just now, getting that back, you know what I mean? So, Be conscious of that. I would say don't listen. There's a lot of cons where people are going to hate on you and then critique your work. Don't listen to that, because you got about 10 to 15 terrible films in you. Because you're not just gonna if you didn't go to film school, like if you go to film school, you know, you're able to just have those bad films because you're in school for it. But out here, it's just different. You know, people are going to critique it. So, you know, that's a con. Like, but don't worry about it. Just keep going, keep shooting, because you will get better. Learn lighting, because lighting is what is going to, you know, elevate your film. That is one of the biggest things about film is your lighting. You need to learn lighting. As far as social media, just be prepared. Just be prepared when you get to social media. It's not going to happen overnight.
It's some nasty stuff out there.
Yeah, man.
Antonio, what we have during our comments, people commenting on our YouTube page has called us some words that rhyme with boon. They was calling us that over here, boy. Well, you can't say nothing about Dr. Umar Johnson. We said one thing, and they came after us.
And I think for me, I'm sorry, I don't want to take away what your answer was, man, but I'm not a real big social media guy, right? Like I got hundreds of real people that I can call right now, right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to break me or make me if I got 1 million fans because now I'm listening to what y'all saying. No, if my 100 people are saying that, I'm going to agree with them or disagree with them, right? So I think that's kind of what's hurting the younger generations of they got 1 million people following them now and they're listening to them instead of their parents, their friends, or whoever like that. Yeah. So definitely I agree with you of
that, you know. What you're saying is perfectly true. They also got to realize that just because you have a 1 million followers, that doesn't translate to other platforms. You might have 1 million followers on TikTok, but you only might, have 10,000 followers on Instagram and only 2,000 on your YouTube. So it doesn't transfer like that, and it doesn't always equal money, because even though they might be following you, they might not actually be supporters and willing to invest in your stuff. Right. So I think that's one of the biggest things about social media that people think, I've met a few people that have large followings and they're not making the money that you would think they're making. It's really a facade. Everybody just has this representative that they show on, social media, but in real life, they're actually really hurting, so don't let social media fool you and think it's all glamorous. And also I think one of the things that people don't understand is the road that you take to, if you're going to go into film, understand it's not going to be glamorous. Everybody always glorifies the very end. So like right now, people are like, oh my God, he did the docuseries, he's getting thousands of views. People are starting to notice him on social media, but it's like, you don't understand what I went through to get here. So understand that it's going to be a long road, and it's going to be a lot of nights where everybody else is sleeping or having fun and you working. So that's just one of the big things that people need to understand.
No doubt. Thank you.
I got a question for you, Antonio.
Talk to me.
What advice, because that was great from Derrick. So I'm gonna ask you, what advice would Antonio right now at this age give young Thug after him taking the Percocet from somebody allegedly inside of a courtroom? What advice would you give to young Thug if he was right now? I'm young Thug. We're gonna role play one more time. I'm young Thug.
Who am I?
And you're just Antonio.
Oh yeah, okay.
I just want you to be Antonio. You're not law enforcement. You ain't the jury. You ain't. You are Antonio.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm young Thug. Hey man, they trying to get me, bro. They trying to get, but I'm staying 10 toes down. Why
are you in this situation?
Man, because they trying to get me, bro. They've been trying to do this. You know how the DA is, and you know how that is.
I would go to his albums, and I'll go to Tidal and just scroll, and I'll start from his first mixtape. Press play. Man, fuck these bitches. Cook crack, sipping lean, drug, blood. What is he? Blood, whatever he is. I'm gonna stop that one and go to the next track. Fuck these bitches. Cook crack. You manufactured this. You created this situation that you're in now.
No, man, that's art. See, that's what you don't understand. That's art. You think you know art. You think you know art, and you don't.
I would, because I'll be like, why you didn't talk about houses? Why you didn't talk about marriage? Why you didn't talk about investing?
I'm a product of
Why
my
you didn't talk-
environment, and
Yeah.
I give back to my environment. I
Hey.
give millions of dollars to my environment.
Hey, I'm a product of my environment too, and I ain't in court. You in this situation, I'm in this situation. You got more money, but guess what? I'm about to go get some meat right now. What you about to do? All right, man.
I'm about to go eat this green peas, string chicken.
Like, come on, man. I think that's a lesson for a lot of people. Why don't you manufacture? What is it like?
Manifest something else?
Some good shit. Like, why is it all bad? Like, why you always want to be the king? You can still be the kingpin at McDonald's. Be the kingpin of your own company. Be the kingpin.
Everybody can't be 50, bro. Everybody can't
That's
be
what I'm
50.
saying. It ain't got to be drugs, bro. Drugs and violence. It doesn't have to be, man. Come on. We got to do better.
Hey, respect. Well, Derrick, listen, we appreciate you for joining us, man. It's been a real pleasure. And we definitely want to say it's an open door policy right here at the A Square podcast for you to come back, promote anything that you got coming up, man. We definitely would love to have you back, bro.
For sure, man.
And I need some lessons too, man, on editing and all this other stuff. We in it with you, man.
I got you.
I know we a little peon right now. We
Nah. See, this is the thing.
Big time, but hey, help us out.
I got you. What makes it easier is when people just like I pretty much everything is self-taught. So and I know how it is when you're trying to do your own thing and everything is coming out your own pocket. But when someone shows you how to do something, you'd be like, what? It was that easy? Like, and then you just grow from there. So it's like I use a couple different programs, and there's some free stuff like my color grading editing software I use is DaVinci Resolve. They have a pro version, they have a free version. The free version has 90% of the pro version. Guys just don't have the ability to do VFX in that one. So if you guys hop on that one, you guys download that, and we can all just hop on the Zoom, and then I'll just screen share, and then you can just see, how I do things as far as editing. And it's really simple. I'll give you like a node tree. Basically, a node tree is my color grading pipeline. It'll have everything planned out for you. It'll have your exposure, your highlights, things like that, your camera transformations, things like that. If you're recording, I don't know what type of cameras you guys use, but I record in RAW, and I have to do a color space transformation to put that in Rec 709, which is what your TVs see.
Okay.
The color space of what your TV see. So I have everything set up in the pipeline, and I can give that to you. And all you got to do is just drop that on your footage and then just go edit, certain, settings that you need to make your footage look the way you want it. So it's not hard at all. You just need someone to show you how to do it.
Well, I definitely respect. First off, thank you for that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sure. I'm taking all knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So I think if Aaron's okay with this, we can send you one of our A Square podcast, like film thing that we did, and then another of one of my cornbread movie reviews, right? And just send them to you. And then you tell us, obviously, real feedback, what you think, what we can improve on, stuff like that. Because that's the only way I can get is to grow. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take all feedback, and I appreciate it.
Easy day. I got y'all. Easy day. Y'all just let me know when y'all want to link up, and we'll sit down, and I'll show you exactly how you need to do, how to set up the programs. And
love it.
I know, Aaron, you still running your Mac, right?
Of course. I got the brand new one. So
yeah, you sound like me.
I know, because
he's rich too. He's rich too.
Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. I again, and once again, thank you for joining us. And we're all about also giving people the flowers that they deserve, you know what I'm saying, early. And I personally want to thank you for essentially taking me in as a little brother, you know what I'm saying, when I was growing up, and essentially protecting me, you know what I'm saying, from all kinds of stuff that was going on, whether it was, man, you don't want to be around them. They doing that. You know what I'm saying? We over here, we doing this, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And that's just something that I hold dear to my heart, you know what I'm saying, as a brother. And I just want to say thank you for that, because it definitely, I could have took the wrong turns, bro. Yes, 100%. But
you was better than that, bro. You wasn't raised how we was raised, you know what I mean? And, like I got friends, like one of my best friends still, Martell, like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to see him do good, but, he's just caught up in his ways, and I just want to see everybody do good. I had to change a lot about me when I moved out here. So I've been in California for almost 10 years now. So
Right.
like, I don't even go back home. Like, you know, like every time
Yeah,
I go home,
I
it's
know.
like,
It's something.
y'all,
It's something. It's something. I know you ain't even gotta say. I know every time it's something.
yeah,
It's something.
like
You
so,
just
nah,
tell
I'm
that
cool.
you just tell that dude that you had to jump on behind that trash can. Real quick story time. Real quick. Years ago, just real quick. 1 minute. That's all it took anyway. 1 minute. Dude's harassing Derrick, harassing him. We walking. He continues to harass Derrick, call him every kind of name. He's like, and he's not the type of person to argue back. Like, he's not going to argue back with you. He says a couple things, hey man, keep following me. It's not going to be good for you. Dude keep talking and dude keep following. He said, Aaron, go across the street. I'm little, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, bro. He said, hey, go stand over there. He turned around and go back. All I heard was, it sounded like two dogs fighting behind a trash can. I cannot make this up. It sounds like two dogs fighting behind a trash can. And then all I saw was somebody's feet. You know, it's a trash can and somebody's feet. And I see Derrick come walking back and he was like, I told you, I tried to tell you.
Hey, I'm okay with it.
I felt like that was a way of protecting me, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Cause I ain't want you involved in certain stuff, man. Like, and it was the fact that didn't start with me. That started with people who I was with. Like, they got into it, but he only said stuff to me because I was the smallest one out the group. And I'm like, I'm the quickest one in the group to fight.
Yeah.
So,
Fact.
you know, if they're going to talk with you, I'm not going to talk with you. You know what I mean? So, but that was one of those days is I didn't know, you know, if he was armed or not. So I didn't want you to be a part of that. So I'm like, hey, man, go stand over there over by that building, bro. Like,
Well,
I got
I
you.
sure appreciate it because I'm here today for the A Squared podcast. And until next time, Antonio,
Well,
man,
hold
let's
on,
close.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
hold on,
Yeah,
Derrick.
go ahead.
Please let people know how they can follow you. What's the
Oh, yeah,
name
no
of
doubt,
the?
no
You know
doubt.
what I'm saying? Like, where can people get the documentary? Everything, man. Give your
So
socials out.
all my social media is Damn It Derrick. Is DAMMIT period DERRICK. So that's all my TikTok, that's my Instagram, and that's my my YouTube. So wherever you put that in, you're gonna see me. And if you for YouTube, it's weird. So if you see the word clout on a black screen in white words, the word clout, that's my docuseries.
Okay.
And you will see me, and my picture is me with a camera on. I have a camera on my chest, so I have a stabilizer on my chest. So that's what that's my profile picture on there. So that's me.
Antonio, before we get out of here, man, what you always tell the people, bro?
Hey, so Derrick, you in LA, man? You got shoes on right now, Derrick?
Yeah, I got my
All
Crocs
right.
on right now.
Yeah, so keep those Crocs by your feet, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Don't.
Hey.
Whenever we meet up, we'll talk. But
We'll tell you the story.
we'll talk, but
Man.
make sure you keep those Crocs by your feet, man. We good.
At all times, bro.
You never know.
LA's a wild place.
Yeah,
man.
that's facts. There you
It's a
go.
wild place.
So until next time, it's the A Square Podcast. Y'all, we out of here. Peace. What's going on, people? This your boy DJ A-Ron of the A Square Podcast. If you're loving what you're hearing, hit us up, asquarepodcast.com.